We started this leg of our journey sailing a Beneteau First 44.7 on a relocation trip from Punta Gorda, Belize, making our way across to anchor in Tres Puntas, Guatemala. It was a peaceful sail with calm seas and a quiet night ahead of our next big step, entering the Rio Dulce. The next morning we were up early to catch high tide at Livingston. Our boat draws 6.8 feet and the entrance to the river is about 4 to 5 feet of water, so we knew we were going to need a little help. Before this trip, I'd never run aground. Now, I've lost count. We followed the marked channel on Navionics, but still ran aground 25 meters before we expected to. Thankfully, it was a silt bottom. There's definitely a technique to crossing the Rio Dulce bar. Everything was arranged ahead of time. 2 towboats, one to attach to our spinnaker halyard to heel us over, and the other to pull us forward. We watched another sailboat being towed out towards us, giving us an idea of what was to come. Then it was our turn. With no shared language, a few hand signals and improvised gestures had to do the job. Whenever we started to touch the silt bottom, the bow line would tighten and the other tug would see they needed to heel us over more. As we were towed in, we passed a fisherman who barely batted us a glance, showing how common this is. In just over 5 minutes, we were pulled into deeper water and set free to make our way further inland. We anchored off Livingston, where Raul came alongside with customs, immigration, and other officials. They collected our documents and told us to meet them at Raul's office by 11:30. This was a really smooth check-in process. With time to spare, we wandered through Livingston, hit the ATM for some local currency, and grabbed an early lunch before heading back. What followed was one of the highlights of the entire trip, sailing up the Rio Dulce. The river winds through lush jungle, steep cliff, dense trees with birdsong echoing around us. It felt like something out of a dream. You could tell the river was a lifeline for many, as there was a constant stream of taxi boats going by in each direction. We crossed Lake Golfete and pulled into Catamaran Marina, a place that immediately felt different. There's a strong sense of community here, free coffee every morning, where the cruisers gather around a shared table to start the day. I've never felt so welcomed at a marina. Honestly, I'd go back just to stay there again. After 2 nights of rest and soaking up the vibe, we continued to Captain John's Marina, where the boat would spend hurricane season while getting some repairs. That stretch took us under the Puente de Rio Dulce, a bridge we could clear but just barely. The real challenge came after the power lines. They're too low for most sailboats unless you turn sharply to port and get uncomfortably close to land, so you are near the power pole where the lines are higher. We made it through, but it's not for the faint of heart.
You're clear.
The next few days were spent getting the boat ready to sit until fall. We then hired a car and went to Guatemala City to catch our flight home.